Hi, this is David, one of the cash register guys here at National Business Systems. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to go over a couple things about cash register Z-tapes. This is fairly universal regardless of the make and model. Most cash registers have these features. Most end users don't know about these features. They're there for your security. After all, the cash register was invented to keep cashiers honest. We get a lot of requests from people to help them take a look at their reports and see if they're getting stolen from. You would be amazed at how many people are getting stolen from. Small businesses are getting stolen from the inside. A cash register in most cases are more secure than a fancy point of sale system. A lot of fancy point of sale systems don't have these features. And people stopped using them, which is really too bad. In our business here, we have helped catch people stealing in excess of $100,000. We've helped people catch thieves that were stealing $1,500 from an espresso stand, $100,000 from a restaurant, and everything in between, and we've seen it all. But we're still amazed every day. We still get, we see new stuff and cashiers trying new methods. But because the cashiers also don't know some of these simple things that a cash register does or a good point of sale system does, quite often it's very easy to catch. One of the first telltale signs that we will get is a customer will call us and they'll be a little angry. Your cash register just doesn't add up properly. So we're like, well, the cash register adds up properly. Why don't you show me where it doesn't add up properly? And we start looking at their tapes and then we start discovering the problems. Couple things to keep in mind, and maybe we'll make another security video after this. First of all, I would never have my cashiers Zing out the register. It's none of their business how much business you did. What they should be concerned with is being accountable for the amount of cash that they're going to be turning in. Why does it matter to them how much you sold? It's none of their business. If you allow them to take a Z report, they know exactly how much to turn in, and you've just made their job of stealing from you that much easier. Does that make sense? We see it every single day. I will tell you that a lot of our very, very large corporate accounts all have that in common. They never let their cashiers Z out the register. They make them do a blind drop, count for the cash, then the managers come by, take the reports, and match it up to the blind drop. Because again, if you're going to be telling the cashier how much money is supposed to be in the till, how much money do you think is going to be in the till? Exactly what you just told them there's going to be. So when they skip ringing things up, you've just now made it easy for them to realize how much they didn't ring up and take it right off the top. So it's I'm going to go over some real basic stuff. We could probably make hours and hours of videos on this, but I'm going to go over a couple real basics, okay? So the first thing I'm going to show you, this is a simple report right here. This is an X report. Again, most of these things are universal. If we look at this X report, it has the date and it has the time. Number one right here, see where it says X1. What that's telling me is this is an X, not a Z. It is the number one report, X1 report. It's also got a number over here of 2. That means this is the second time an X1 report has been taken. This number is incredibly important, not so much in an X, but when we move over to the Z. So now we are going to move over to the Z. I've got 3 Z tapes here. Mine will all have the same date. Normally yours would not have the same date, okay? But here's the really important thing. It's a Z, right? It's a Z1 report, and this is Z report number 2. Real simple, right? Check this out. Z1 report, real basic. Number 3. Z1 report number 4. Most people have no idea that your Z reports count up consecutively. Why is that important? If you don't know, you might be blown away how simple, stupid this is. And here's what we've caught cashiers all over the country doing. Let's say your store is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The cashier might run right up until 7 o'clock, take a Z report, and that's going to be their turn in. Maybe they even change the date and the time. Maybe they change the time. Then they run the next hour for themselves, Z out the machine again. And take all of that money. You don't know anything about it, right? They already turned in their Z report. And this has happened to us countless times. Again, customers will come to us, your registers don't add up properly. Notice my sales are down. This dang thing doesn't count. So we get a couple days reports, and you know what we see? Z1, 2, Z1, 4, no 3. We ask them, where's 3? What do you mean, where's 3? Here's my reports. Simple as that. That indicates a cashier has been taking a Z report without your knowledge, taking that money. And believe me, it happens all the time. So number one thing you should be looking at every day is your Z reports are consecutive. Make sure that your Z reports go consecutive. It's a real simple thing. Every single register has it. It is possible on a lot of modern registers to turn that off. I would never, ever suggest turning that off. Also, keep in mind that lots of people do know about this. So when you're thinking you just have a simple Z report or a register report, there are a lot of security things in here. So please keep that in mind. We're going to jump down to the bottom. See the grand and the dollar amount, right? So on this particular day, this is a little sample report that I rang up. We didn't do that much business. That's not today's grand total. Let's look over to the next one. There's the grand, Here's the grand on the next one. This is a non-resettable grand total. This is like an odometer in a car. Is it that important in the whole scheme of things? No, it's not. However, it is another security feature for you. You've got your Z counters that we've already talked about. You also have your non-resettable grand totals. So if a Z tape is missing, you could simply do the math and see if the grand totals add up. So you should be able to take this grand total, add this day's business to it, and get that grand total. If you take this day, the grand total, add this day to it, and it doesn't equal that, there's Z tapes missing. But again, that would be easy to find if you're looking at your Z counters. Most modern registers have a lot of different Z tapes available. Not just, this happens to be a financial report. Most registers will have a financial report, a group report, a PLU report, lots of different reports. This is your primary report, a financial report. This happens to be from a SAM4S SPS 345, but like I said in the beginning, they're very universal. Even amongst brands of registers, you'll find that most of them have these exact same features. They have them for a reason. I said we have been personally involved in helping stop thefts of over $100,000. If there's a will, there's a way. This is just a couple really, really simple stopgap measures that you should be checking every day. If you think that you're getting stolen from, you probably are. We would be happy to forensically go over your tapes and help you, plug any holes you've got going on there. We do charge for our time. It's money well spent. But keep in mind that cash registers are keeping track of this stuff. It's a great tool, but a tool is only useful if you use it properly. And you might be amazed at how many security features your simple little cash registers have. So again, that's just a real quick primer on the Z tapes. So today we covered the Z counters and the grand totals. We did look at the X was the first one. I don't even know, Many people don't know what the difference between an X and a Z is. One thing to remember is Z for zero. So when you take a Z report, it prints it, resets it, and starts counting again. So once you take a Z report, you can't take another one. X is just a read. You can take as many X's as you'd like. You could take 1,000 of them a day if you'd like. All it does is print the information. No reset, no getting it ready for the next shift. It's just a snapshot of where you are right now when you print that. So that's the difference between an X and a Z. And again, on Z reports, this is just one Z report. This is a financial Z report. Most registers have anywhere from 6 to 12 different reports they can take. And we haven't even got into the different types of Z reports. There's Z1s and there's Z2s. These are all Z1s, and I don't mean just that one. Z1 means daily, Z2 means period to date. So there's a lot more to go into, but this is your basic security feature. Look for that Z1 counter. Make sure it's always consecutive. You have your backup of your grand totals. And there's other things that can be done as well. Number one, to remember, never let your clerks take reports. If you let your clerks take reports, then it's very easy for your clerk is going to balance to what's in the till, and the rest is for them. And again, it's an ugly part of this business. We see it every day. We've seen it for years and years and years. We've seen it at tiny stores. We've seen it at giant stores. We've seen it amongst families. We've seen it, with just your everyday employee-employer relationship as well. Like I said, it isn't much we haven't seen, but we keep seeing new inventive ways that clerks steal. So I hope that was helpful. If you would like to hire us to look over your tapes and help you catch somebody or clear somebody, we'd be happy to do so. You can call us at 1-800-863-2274. Find us on the web at thecashregisterguys.com. Also remember, we sell and service SAM4S cash registers. When we put a register in for you, we can implement all these security devices for you. So there's lots more to talk about. If there's enough interest in this video, maybe we'll make some more. Thanks for joining me. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We are available for hire to help you solve any problems. Thanks a lot. Bye.